And hold on.
No rolling, just straight in.
And
Good evening, good evening.
we're live, drummer. Go ahead.
Good evening, good evening. This is
Go ahead,
Red
drummer.
Bones Drummer, and welcome to another episode.
And
Welcome to another episode of Goodnews
hold on.
Primetime Television. No rolling, just straight in.
We roll, you on. And
good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome. This is Red Bones Drummer. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Good News at Prime
live,
Time.
drummer. Go ahead.
Award-winning, award-winning television show.
This is Red Bones
Drummer, and welcome to another episode.
And
Welcome to another episode of Welcome. Prime Time. Had a little echo in there.
We roll, you on. And
as we start this day out, this is Red Bones Drummer, and welcome to another episode of Good News at Prime Time. Good News at Prime Time. This thing in. This evening, I'm joined with by our producer extraordinaire, Mr. John Keverton. How you doing out there, sir? Good. We've got some interesting things to go over this evening, right before the big presidential debate. This is the first one. This is the big one. This is the big prize fight. And it's like the heavyweight title fight. Joe Biden against Donald Trump. Man, this is a pumper. Man, people, they wish they could get
I'm doing okay, brother drummer. I'm doing okay. I think it's good up here.
Okay. This is the big one, John. If you could get ringside seats for this one, this is like a championship fight. Uncle Joe versus Donald J. Trump. Who you got in the fight? This big debate tonight. You gotta, if anybody out there that's got a dog in the fight, they say, who you got? You got Uncle Joe or you got Donald J. Trump? I've been looking throughout the day, and you're looking at things, no matter what happens with Donald Trump, nothing seems to
yeah. Yeah, that what you calling that distant cousin.
Oh yeah, he's Teflon Don. He's they say he didn't pay about $750 for his income tax during his presidential term, and the people say he's smart. He's a true business person. He knows how to get those maximized deductions. I don't see anything wrong with that. So Donald Trump has no problem, 46 minus one, has no problem getting his laundry out there. Then when it's out there, he's got no problem dealing with it. Now, Joe Biden, I don't know if that's going to be true. Uh, you know, Donald Trump is a super counter puncher. If you got him in the ring, you got him up against the rope, you think you're gonna get him. He's throwing, he's punching. So it's gonna be interesting tonight to see that debate and just see who comes out on top. There are a lot of people that are on the fence. They say, I'm watching the debate to see who I'm gonna go with. But a lot of people already decided. A lot of people have already formulated their opinion about who they want for president of the United States of America. Ooh, a lot of things are happening right in front of our face. Donald Trump just uh, nominated a Supreme Court justice replacement, and people didn't really like that. But he stuck it out there and said, I'm quick to action. We're going to take care of business. If he gets this out, he'll have three during his term. And if he gets another term, it's possible he'll pick up two more within that 4-year span. But there's a lot going on, and as people, we have to really, really, really pay attention on this particular election. You look at Supreme Court justices; they can be around for they can stay in the game for 40 years. That means that long after we gone, 40 years from now, guess what? One of those justices will be on there making sure they keeping the rules for your grandkids and your great grandkids, mine as well. So there's a lot going on during this time period. We looked
Yeah,
at.
you're right. I think you're right, Reggie. I think. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Well, John, lots going on, and this is the most critical election, in our lifetime, we can say that, but especially as Black and Brown Indigenous people, so
I think you're
much
right
is
in the
on
sense
the
that
line.
Trump. I think you're right in the sense that that's a lot. There's a lot of things going on that we are not, we're not people are not paying attention to. Cause we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Mm.
We're in the middle of an election. We're in the middle of people being slowly let outside the house. We're in the middle of a Supreme Court nominee being selected, and we're in the middle of a Senate and a lower house fighting. And so we're in the middle of it's chaos, man. It's like, I mean, really chaos. And people got to get out and vote. We got the post office is putting up blue boxes and taking out
Ooh.
machines. So we're in the middle of this is war. But then the question is, what kind of war are we in? We know we're in a virus war,
Mm.
and we know that we have this virus thing we have to deal with, and we also know that this election thing is it's really heavy, man. We got people on both sides of the fence saying that my candidate is the best candidate, and like you said,
Oh yeah,
it's like a Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, old guys.
they got the
Got
juice up.
old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got old, they coming out, want to punch and fight one another, and so I think President Trump said, I want him to get a drug test before we get in the ring. I don't want no
Yeah.
get in the ring with no junkie. I'm gonna tie him up, but I don't want to hurt him, but I want to make sure that he's clean.
Yeah.
Nobody said, well, I'm gonna take care of him when I get him on. So you go ahead,
Yeah. Well, you're right. And this this particular debate is so different than any other. One thing about Donald Trump, you know, he's a promoter, a marketer, all those things. You can throw everything at him, and he still, he loves to fight. That's in the art of the deal. He gets in there. He's a counter puncher. You already know he's gonna drop some nuggets on Uncle Joe. He's gonna talk about him. Gonna bring up his son. He's gonna throw so many distractions out there. It's gonna be interesting to see how the commentator can handle this. Because he's gonna hit below the belt. He's gonna hit below the belt. He's going for the juggler. He's gonna go for the killer. If he goes for the punch, the knockout, whatever he can do to take you out. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Joe Biden, takes this fight on. I think if he can stay on point, because Joe sometimes get out there wondering, and he's gonna bring up Alzheimer's. He's gonna act like he's got some problems, dementia or whatever. So he's got to be ready for that. And like you said with the drug test, he said, I was listening to him on another network, and Donald Trump said, they had him hyped up, and he was good for about 30 minutes. But after that, he started going to Sleepy Joe. You know how that is, So it's going to be interesting. This whole thing is going to be interesting. And you know what? You better make sure you get a cold beer, some wine, and just chill out and get some ringside seats. America wanted this when you got the two gray-haired white guys, Now let's look at him. Look at him. Donald Trump is every older guy's dream. He's 70-something years old. I mean, black, white, anybody. They say, look at him. He's 70-something years old. He got a young wife and a teenage son. And then you look at Uncle Joe. He's a traditional older guy, grandpa. But everybody likes the one that he got the appeal. Donald Trump still don't think nobody looks better than him, smarter than him, quicker than him. So he's got all these accolades that he feels good about himself. So he's a very optimistic guy. He's like, they asked Joe Biden, they said, what are you going to do to prepare? He said, well, I've been doing this, and then Donald Trump said, I do what I do every day. He's just gonna go in there, and he's not gonna listen to his advisors that say, "No, we don't want you to do this. You shouldn't talk about that. You shouldn't bring this up." They just let him go in there and fight. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they can contain this. You know, every now and then, Uncle Joe can go off to the other side. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see can Joe Biden maintain uh, his relationship with the people, to let the people know what it's going to be like if you bring a Joe Biden
Yeah, like
administration to the table.
okay, what they say, gloves off, no gloves. Let's get in the
Yeah,
ring. You know, and let's go for it. You know, and let
yeah.
see, cause it seems like Don been doing one of these numbers. Bring it on, Joe. Bring it on, Joe. Don been doing this all the time. Bring it on,
I'm
Joe.
ready.
Bring it on, Joe. Got something for you. Bring it on.
Come on,
And,
come on.
yeah.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. And you know what you got to do? You got to knock the champ out. You know, because people still be like, the champ was coming back. The champ was coming back. So all of his supporters and even people that don't like Donald Trump, they know he's a fighter. Now, Uncle Joe, they hopefully that he can stay woke for that. I don't know how long it's
Yeah,
gonna last.
yeah, because
I think it's about an hour and a half or
yeah.
something. But they hope he can stay woke. That's why Donald Trump said check him for steroids because they're gonna have him on all kind of uppers. Just so Sleepy, you know, he's sticking that name in there, Sleepy Joe. You know, he said Sleepy Joe might not be able to make it throughout the whole debate. He said he'll come out strong the first 5 minutes. After that, he's going, ooh.
Yeah,
So,
let me add something to this. I think that let me add this. I think that the Donald is all about ratings. You know, he's all about having those ratings. He's all about making sure that he get a high rating of whatever he does, whatever he do. So I'm quite sure tonight he's gonna be looking at the ratings. He's gonna be looking at how strong his rating were, how big his rating were. He's not gonna even care whether he knocked Biden out or not. He just want to know, did I get a good rating? How was the rating? How did I look?
Yeah.
Was my hair in place? You know,
Yeah.
did I come back strong? Like you said, he
Yeah.
doesn't care about his staff saying, well, don't say this, Donald. Mr. President, don't say this. Don't say this. Hey, listen, I'm gonna knock this sucker out. You know, I'm going for the chin, the juggler. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not going for it.
You know, that's the Donald, man. Going for the juggler.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
You know, that's what's going to be. You know, and we say, is this good for America? You know, it's motivating. You know, one of the things now, people like reality shows, they like drama, they like chaos. So even people that they say, well, Donald Trump's a this, he's a that. He's got it's a name for him, but he say he's a bigot, he's a racist, he's a chauvinist, he's you can give all those adjectives to describe him. He'll be like, yeah, I'm all that, but I'm rich too. I'm a billionaire. You say, well, you're not a billionaire. You're not documented. They prove that you're not a billionaire. It's your tax record. You say that's fake news. That's fake news. That's fake news. And there are people that will grasp to that, hold on to that, and it's going to be interesting to see how they even if he loses this debate, there would be people that will still say, "Hey, he won. He won." They kept cutting him off, and even though he would be lying, they said they kept cutting him off. They just kept cutting him off. They don't want him to say what he got to do. He'll never do anything or say anything about the issue about nothing. Now, he's riding the economy, but he won't say nothing about failure with COVID-19. He won't say nothing about the mishandling, all the stuff that he said. These people, I can understand how what was in it for them? Why would you give your life, even though, he says, I love the planet, I love the flag. He said, I can't understand why someone would give their life.
Yeah.
What was in it for them? Wasn't no money on the table.
I think you're right.
So it's going to be.
Well, let me jump in there with this. You're right. I think you're right. I think you're right in the sense that he's. I think you're right in the sense that the Donald, the president, is not going to He's not gonna pull in the punches. He gonna go after Joe Biden with everything he got. See, and what really amazed me is this: the president wanted Ukraine to get some dirt on Joe Biden even before Joe Biden threw his hat in the pot. So, based on the president's statistics and the information that he had, he knew that Joe Biden was the candidate to beat. Take Joe Biden out of the picture, and he'll win by a landslide. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see how it come out. Fox has the highest rating that they've had in a long time. And Fox is going to be really interesting to see how all those Donald Trump supporters at Fox start. I'm wondering if they're going to have a little balance. You know what I mean? Each time Donald Trump get a win, they raise a little balance. You know, the balance go up. You know, I think that this is gonna be better than the playoff, you know, because this is a game that Joe Biden got to win. Joe Biden has got to win, come out as a winner, and at the same time, Joe Biden can't look like weak. He can't look weak, and he can't look like an old man who can't hold his own, you know, and he can't say, "Excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom." None of that stuff can't happen, you know.
No. You know, he's got to take control. He has to have a presence. See, Donald Trump is a personality. Joe is like he's a good tag along guy. You know, now every now and then he'll throw some stuff out there, but he don't throw a lot of memorable things out there. He's got to resonate with the people. He's got to get the people to say, "Man, I like Uncle Joe. I like him," because you know he gonna get some punches. Now if he can take this first one, if he, you know, and he, like you say, he got to win, okay? And he's, you know, he can't get entangled. And they start talking about, you see, you know, you're lying, because he can't win like that. You know, he's gonna have to hit him with some quickies and say, "That's not true," and keep moving. That's not true, and keep moving. Check that out, fake news. He got to beat him to the punch, you know, because he gonna jab him. And at some point, I've never seen Donald Trump get tired. He never gets tired of talking. That brother never gets tired. So you're gonna have to let him wear stuff like that. I heard that before. And you know, this is like Ronald Reagan when he was debating the guy, he said, "Here we go again." You know, here we go again. He gotta throw some things out like that that'll distract them and get your people to be like, "Man, Joe was handling himself." But if Joe gets in there and you're not a boxer.
Yeah, because he loved conversation. Okay, he loved conflict. You know, this is his backyard. Conflict. In my backyard. I'm on television. It's my show, and I'm on my favorite TV station, Fox. It's my show. I think you're right in that sense. I think you're right also that Trump is going to be hitting throwing some real hard blows, and he's going to be doing some things that they haven't even thought about. You know, him capable of doing. You know.
Oh no, yeah. You know, he'll bring that man's wife up.
So I think that he
might make him cry on stage. If he could, you know, you ever seen that? What's that movie? A Few Good Men. They tell Tom Cruise, "Don't go for it. Don't do that. Don't do that." Well, Trump is gonna do that. They'll tell him, "Don't do that. It's unethical to do what you're about to do." You know, he will do it. He will do it. You know, he would demand something out of Joe that people says even an overkill. Because don't let him get an advantage. He's not gonna let him go down. He's gonna hold him up and punch him again. You know, it's kind of like Jack Johnson used to do people in the ring. Jack Johnson used to hold folk up. The white guys, he beat them up and he hold them up and hit them again. Wouldn't let him go out. And so if Joe get hit and he shows that he's vulnerable, it's over. It's done. You can put a stamp on it because Donald Trump is not, he's a finisher. He gonna go back in there and say, "Man, Joe's against the rope. Bam. Uh-oh. Look like he's going down." Donald Trump is, "I'm gonna hold him up one more round." And then he go like, bam. and then Joe gonna be wanting to fall. And then when that
Yeah.
airspace gets there,
Yeah.
that's
See,
when he
because
got.
this right.
But but it's gonna take. I believe he can do it. I believe he can handle himself. But see, the bad thing, if Joe says or does anything,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to minorities like blacks, Latinos, black and brown people, Joe got to
Yeah.
be on eggshell. Or
Yeah.
women, Donald Trump doesn't have to do that. He can say anything about anybody, and it won't cost him nothing. But if Joe accidentally says something like, hey, I'm the best thing black people have. Joe can't say that. Joe can't say I'm the best thing Latinos could ever have. He can't say that. Donald Trump can say something like that. Hey, black folk can never do better than what I got for them. Joe Biden can't say that and get away with it. Donald Trump can. He can almost say anything like he said. He can shoot a guy in the middle of Times Square and people will be like, wow, you saw that? Man, that was a beautiful shot. you know, and that's just, when you got appeal like that, the appeal from people, where they can't see you doing no wrong, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
because
and
Donald Trump
criticism.
will say something like Donald Trump. Let me jump in right quick. Yeah, all most yeah most of his followers. I agree with you. Donald Trump can say almost anything that he want to say without his followers
Mhm.
even questioning what he said, because I think most of his followers are what they call true believers. They
Oh
believe,
yeah,
and true believers are people that no matter what if you say fake news, then they say okay, fake news. If they trust you
yeah,
and they hear what you're saying, they feel what you're saying, then it becomes fake news. I think most of his followers are true believers, in the sense that they believe that he's the baddest thing since hurricane come through. Donald Trump is
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
is,
yeah,
is the type
yeah.
of he can say anything he want to say. His followers will say, okay, he's good. I think that they are true believers, and what I call what I like to explain a thing about true believers, and I think they're true believers in the sense that no matter what comes out about Donald Trump, he's just fake news. And one of the things, like even today, yesterday rather, Time News reported that Donald Trump was 427 or plus some $1 million in debt. So
Mhm.
they began, and the House of Nancy Pelosi began to say that she have questions about that, because if you owe all these people that $427 million, and that tab is coming due in the next 4 years. If
Mhm.
Donald Trump becomes president again, then he gonna be owing to these people. And one
Yeah.
of the things they were saying, no wonder he wants to be president again, because he got the Secret Service to protect him. Because when that kind of money is coming
Oh,
due, the bad boys come and take a look at you, and say, "Hey,
they
now
coming for
what
you.
about
Yeah,
some of that money?" And
yeah.
so if Donald Trump is not in office, and he can't meet that $427 million debt he owed, then he up the creek
Woo.
without a paddle. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And his
I
buddy
think
over there, Putin,
I don't know.
Putin don't mind collecting. When you don't pay them, you show up either down in the river or you just die. And so it's gonna be interesting. You know what? That's a security risk when as a person, if you got too much debt, they don't want you working around money. They don't want you working around anything where somebody can hold that debt over your head. Now, this is the highest position in the land, the president of the United States. If you woke Ronald Reagan up, he found out all this was going on, you know, he'd be like, man, I can't believe this. The people in the United States of America are condoning this.
Yeah,
They signing off on this.
absolutely.
These are Republican conservatives. The things that Donald
Yeah,
Trump is doing, they like, man, we never. I mean, the last fighter in that party was John McCain. That's the only opposition
I
he
think you're
had.
right. I think you're right. I think you're right. You know, because like uh no matter how we look at it, you know, I think no matter how we look at it, how it go down, we have a situation. We in it's a, hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Let me grab this. Okay, I think that no matter how we look at it, how it come out, we still got to select the president. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
and tonight will determine uh some of these people's minds are gonna be changed. You know, tonight
Oh
they're
yeah.
gonna change some of these people's minds
Ooh.
about who president debate and what have you. They're gonna change some people's minds, and it's gonna do a lot. I think that one of the things that we gotta understand is like this right here is supposed to give us some information about how strong Joe Biden is and how
Yeah.
strong Donald Trump is. We know what Donald Trump is all about. We know we've seen him, so we know how strong he is. We know uh, how how it's a smart he is. You know how he
Yeah.
able to
Controlling.
take your question and turn your question around at you. You know,
Right,
make
right.
you look like a dummy. Make you know we know
Yeah.
how unique he is in that area. It's just that I'm not. You know what? I'm like those guys who bet on the game. I'm not betting on neither one of them. You know, it's gonna be. I just want to watch the game, man.
Oh, it's gonna be a
See
good
what has.
game,
See
man.
who's the
Yeah.
stronger
Hey,
boxer. You know.
yeah.
So if you
Well,
think about it, Joe Biden is 78,
mm-hmm.
and he's gonna be in office for the next 4 years. That'll make him 82.
Woo!
Between now and the time he come to a reelection,
Right, right.
uh, Kamala Harris may be president. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's another thing he keep bringing up. He says you don't want her in that
Yeah.
seat. You don't want her in that seat. You do not want her in that seat. And then he looks at Joe Biden. Just say if Joe Biden was to get ill during the second term, and Kamala Harris got to be president. See, a lot of people are fearful of that. Okay, so they will vote for Donald Trump just to avoid that. Because look who's the number two for Donald Trump, Mike Pence. Mike Pence. So they would rather that than to vote for Joe Biden. They find out that he's only got about a year and a half, you know. And when you look at history, we almost due for a president to be replaced, for a vice president to come up as the president. We hadn't had that to happen since 1968 when Ford replaced what's his Nixon. You know, so it's almost time. Oh yeah, it's almost time. But you know, there are a lot of things, and these are
Yeah.
some things to look for. When you look at the topics they'll be talking about, they'll be talking about race. The racial problems. One of the
Nixon
things.
and
You know, uh,
yeah, yeah,
there'll be those
you're right.
topics. You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think you're right. I think things are just going around. Things that's going around and coming back.
oh yes, 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 yes. But on some of those topics, the questions that they'll be asking with Breonna Taylor just going down, and you know, with the justice system, excuse me, Donald Trump has a good way of deflecting the question, of deflecting the narrative. When it talks about police, not getting rid of the police, but getting police reform. Everybody needs some reform. Well, when he puts out there that Joe Biden is weak on crime, he wants to get rid of the police and he wants to take your guns. Now, if that narrative, that's false news, that's fake news coming out of his mouth. If that sticks on uh, Joe Biden and he doesn't do a counterpunch, that'll stick in people's mind that he's weak on crime. Because Donald Trump is going with that thing. I'm the law and order candidate. We got all hell breaking loose in these cities, and you don't want them coming for you. After they take over the cities, they're gonna try to come for you. So we're gonna stop that. That's why it's gonna be important that on those topics that Joe don't take a hit. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the one dealing with law and order, uh, criminal justice system. When it comes down to the racial things, now that's going to be a deflection because uh, because Donald Trump's going to be like, well, hey, I'm the most unracial. I mean, he'll create a word. I'm the most unracial person on the planet. All this type of stuff. And then when it comes down to immigration, when it comes down to the virus, the things that he could have done to do this or do this, why does he continue to put people that follow him in danger by not wearing a mask, not doing all the protocol, all that type of stuff? What's going to be the look for America in 2021? What's going to be the new look for America? Yeah, we talked about making America great, but he just rode the coattail of somebody else. And we find out with all his business practices, that's all he's been doing all his life. Blowing it up. So if he bankrupts America, I'm talking about the heart, the soul, the spirit of America. I saw one thing. I'm gonna bring back the spirit.
Let me interject. Let me interject this right here. The question is, what is America going to look like in January and February 1st or January the 21st? What is America going to look like? It's been said that the president presently will not leave office. He will not leave office peacefully. Well, then Nancy Pelosi came out and said that it doesn't mean anything because if Joe Biden becomes the president, then they have a military to escort him out. They're going to evict him, like throwing him out door, But I think that's a little dramatic, But I think Trump is saying it's gonna be interesting to see there's a lot of constitutional stuff coming up now. The president saying that he have some type of idea that it might be rigged, okay, and he have some type of idea that things can be rigged. He gonna object to it. So what they're trying to do is put someone on the Supreme Court so that if he loses to Biden, they can object to the election. But what the president don't understand is that it doesn't matter. If he loses to Biden, then that's it. He can object all he wants to. He can file all kinds of complaints to the Supreme Court. But as of January 20th, if Joe Biden wins, he will be sworn in as the president. And so even though Trump may object to it, file a complaint for it, see what Trump is thinking is that if there is some objection to the election, if he loses, there's some objection to the election, then he becomes president. He will still be president until they clear it up. And he's saying he should be locked up in the court for a whole year to a couple of years. But what he failed to realize is the Constitution says that if there's no decisive winner in the presidential election, then the House Speaker becomes president. Nancy Pelosi will become president. Now, if there's some discretion, as to the election process, then there's no decisive winner, which means that Trump is not going to accept the winner, and so there's some discretion. Nancy Pelosi becomes president because the Constitution doesn't allow for people to come in and say, I think there's some wrongdoing going on. Even though all the stuff that's happening to Trump, all the stuff that the president is saying that's happening now, it's not going to even help him if he loses. If he win, he going to come out and say, see, I knew it. Yeah. So being objectively speaking, there's a lot of controversy going on as to he going to surrender the White House peacefully. Or if he doesn't surrender the White House peacefully, what is his followers going to do? Remember, we talked about earlier, these are true believers. These are people who are willing to go to the wall to keep him in the White House. These are people who are willing to say that the election was rigged. President Trump is the president. He's supposed to stay until y'all can resolve it. But what these people don't understand is the Constitution doesn't allow for none of that kind of stuff. if there's no decisive winner within the election process, Nancy Pelosi become president until it can be deciphered who won. So Trump is thinking he gonna drag it on for a year to 2 years. That's why he trying to get these people on the Supreme Court. Another thing is all of these Republicans that's following Trump, they're not gonna have a job come January. Mitch McConnell, all these Republicans, Mitch thinking that he's gonna win Kentucky. But he may be in for a big surprise.
Yeah, some backlash.
The way he's been treated, the way he's been doing over the process during impeachment. So I think that these Democrats who are going to come in behind these people, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But I'm just trying to be objective. You know, on the one hand, the president is saying, if I lose, it's rigged. If I win, we continue on. So if he lose, he's saying he's not going to surrender the White House. He's not saying it, but he's implicating it. So what's going to happen is the Constitution going to kick in, and the justices, not the justices, because that has nothing to do with it. What's going to happen is they're going to swear Joe Biden in as the president of the United States on January the 20th, and you see Donald Trump lead, but Donald Trump will not admit that he lost. That's the reason all this stuff is coming. He will not admit that he's lost. The man has lost $500 million in businesses. He won't admit he lost that kind of money. So he's not going to admit that he lost the presidential election by just cause. So he's going to complain about it. They're going to try to take it to the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, that may not happen. He cannot. The Constitution doesn't allow for a president who supposedly lost the elections to continue to be a seated president. The opposer will be the winner. Anyway, so this debate is going to be very interesting. But a lot of people are talking about him saying he's not going to give the White House up and stuff there. But what he failed to realize is on January the 20th, he's no longer the commander-in-chief. No matter how it goes, he's not the commander-in-chief no more. Whether he contests the election or not. And if Joe Biden won, and there's some controversy about that, Joe Biden may not be the commander-in-chief. Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, according to the Constitution, becomes the House Speaker. And therefore, and God forbid that that this happened, and she stepped in as the acting president until it can be resolved. Donald Trump be he gonna be a creep without a paddle, without even a boat. He'll be on a little bit of ski pad. If Nancy Pelosi get in there as the acting president until the controversy is resolved. As for this thing coming up tonight, I think that Joe Biden gonna come at him with a lot of the soldier thing. You talked about the American soldier. You did this to the American soldier. You brought American troops in to stop American troops, against American people. I think Joe Biden will come in with everything that's been happening, been blowing up. I think that's what Joe Biden will come in. Because remember, Joe Biden has the Lincoln Project behind him, which are Republicans, okay? And Joe Biden has all these other people behind him, feeding him information, and has his own speechwriter, what have you. The only problem is, can Joe Biden put that information out there with strength and courage and with some heart? Knowing Donald Trump, he gonna come in and try to scare the hell out of him. And gonna get him, shake him in the boots, shaking him in the shoes. He gonna start stuttering, start going through his stuff, and Donald Trump gonna drop a whole lot of information on him. They're gonna hurt him, or may hurt him or help him. But either way, Donald Trump gonna make it happen, shaking in his boots. Cause that's the way Donald Trump is. That's what he deals with people. He's a businessman. He know how he deal with people like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how. Go ahead.
You're gonna push up on him, and if it's like if you were in a fight and if somebody knows they got you scared. See, if Joe is scared that he gonna say something or do something that's not gonna look good, he's in Donald Trump got nothing to lose. Whatever he says, whatever he does, nobody's gonna be on him. Fox News is going to say I think he won that hand down. Even if he doesn't win, they will still say he won the debate. But Joe Biden, if he loses, it's gonna be
Yeah.
horrible. It's gonna be horrible. They're gonna be like, he just didn't stand a chance. The president did this. He looked so good. You see how well he looked? You see how good he looked? Man, he looked good. And don't let him start. Man, I look good. Joe was tired. He was weak. I could
Yeah.
see it in his voice. I knew I had him when we went on to the second topic. Mm. I mean, so Joe's gonna have to really get his stamina up. He's gonna really have to get that point across to the American people, what he represents, what a
Yeah.
Joe Biden presidential, term will look like. He's gonna have to sell him on that. He got to sell him on the fact that he's strong enough to finish 4 years. All this got to be stuff that he's got to sell. He got to do that tonight. He's got to do that tonight. He got to sell America that Joe Biden is the man. He's got to get America's belief level up in him. They got to believe that he's a great white hope. He's the greatest of the two white hopes. That's how they got it. That's what he got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have to really bring it home and resonate with people. He's got to.
You're right. I think I think both of them have to sell the American people now on the fact that I'm the guy. I'm the guy you want.
Yeah.
I'm the guy you need. Because right, cause see, even with
So it's going to be interesting.
I think Donald Trump got to come forth, with the and Joe Biden got to be. It's like a prize fight,
Oh yeah.
Two old geezers coming out with gloves on, smell like liniment. You know what I mean? Talking about
Yeah.
they're gonna knock somebody out. So hey, look, we got
Yeah.
about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. You want
What's
to
up?
close it out?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ray, we got
Like
about 3 minutes. You want to go ahead and close it out?
yes. Thanks, everybody. Pay attention. Look for those things those pointers. You make a decision. It's your time to make a decision and look at what's going on. What direction is America going into? And who's going to take America into that direction? Come out of a post pandemic, or pandemonium. Who's going to be the one? Who's going to be the champ? It's going to be revealed tonight. So we're excited. We love you. We look forward to seeing you. This is Reginald Drummond, the Peopleologist, coming with you. And John Covington from Good News at Primetime. And keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. Don't be a sheeple. Look at the information. Listen to both of them tonight. Be a critical thinker. Look, listen, and you know what? Have this discussion with your family. After the debate, talk to your family. Find out what's on their mind. What did they think? Okay? All this stuff is going to be critical because this is the future of America. This is the future of your family, your communities, and your loved ones. And that's it. I feel good. I'm excited. Man, I got my water. I got a ringside seat. I'm gonna get a clear head. I'm good. I am good, and it's gonna be great to see this debate. Woo, boy! This debate at 8. It's gonna be great. Don't miss it for nothing. For nothing. Oh yeah. So that's what we got over here, and we'll be back next week as well.
I'm going to get set up right now, Reggie. I'm going to see you later. Take care.
Okay, see you later.